Hello everyone. Before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe, and leave a comment saying where you're from and when you watched. That way, YouTube will continue to show you stories like this. Now, let's get started. Dawn was breaking. Over the abandoned cemetery, a pale yellow light shining on the broken tombstones. Jack lay motionless in the smoldering ashes. The ritual book had burned out, leaving only a fine layer of dust floating in the wind. The villagers gathered at a distance, not daring to come closer, but their eyes were still watching. Some believed that the curse had been broken, but others whispered that the darkness was still there, hidden deep within Jack. After what seemed like an eternity, Jack opened his eyes. His eyes were no longer red as before, but still shone with a strange, half-human, half-demon light. He propped himself up on his hands, his whole body trembling, his breathing heavy. In his head, the priest's voice had stopped, no longer echoing, like the past days. But that silence did not make him feel relieved. On the contrary, it was more terrifying than ever, because it was like a predator hiding and waiting. Jack stood up, looking around the ruined cemetery. The spirits that had been imprisoned were gone. The gloomy atmosphere had calmed down, but fear still lingered. The villagers saw him alive, both happy and afraid. They did not know whether to regard him as a hero who had broken the curse or as someone who carried the remaining darkness. Jack returned to his small house. With every step, he felt his body heavy, as if something was sleeping inside. In front of the mirror, he examined his face. His skin was pale, his eyes were dark. And for a fleeting moment, he saw the image of the priest clearly behind him. He turned around, but the room was empty. Jack closed his eyes tightly, telling himself that it was all over. But deep down, he knew the truth was not that simple. The following days, life in the village returned to normal. Children played on the dirt road again. Adults went to the fields to plow, but they still avoided Jack. At night, from his house, they heard faint whispers. One night, red light shone from the windows, illuminating the village in a ghostly light. New ghost stories began to appear, and Jack became the center of them all. One evening, Jack walked through the woods near the village. The dim moonlight shone down on the wet dirt road. The wind whistled, the leaves rustled. He felt someone walking behind him. When he turned around, he saw only darkness. But then, a tall, thin figure with glowing red eyes appeared for a split second. Jack stepped back, his heart pounding. He realized that the priest had not disappeared. He was just waiting for the moment to return. Jack ran back to the village, but in his head echoed a distorted laugh. He said that St. Mary's was not the only place. All over the world, there were other cursed lands, where darkness lurked and waited for a chance to rise. Jack collapsed, holding his head in his hands, knowing that the road ahead of him had not ended. He wrote the last words in his notebook. "If I fail, please remember that the darkness never really disappears. It only finds a new body, a new soul to inhabit." At the end of the road, Jack looked up at the sky. Dark clouds had gathered again, blocking the moonlight. He knew he had to continue his journey, not only to save himself, but also to stop the darkness from spreading. The small village was just the beginning. Other places were still there, waiting for him to face. In the next episode, the darkness would no longer be confined to a church, but would spread to new lands where Jack would be forced to fight once again.